What if the real problem with aging isn't your body can't repair itself anymore? It's that it stopped getting the signal to do it. What if there is a naturally occurring peptide your body already makes? The one that directly influences collagen production, skin quality, hair follicles, and tissue repair. And by the time you hit your 50s, you have lost more than half of it. Most people try to fix aging one issue at a time. They buy separate products for skin, hair, and recovery. Expensive creams, supplements, complicated routines. But biologically, those aren't separate problems. They all are connected. So what if instead of chasing multiple solutions, you restored one core signal? I'm Jay Patel, longevity PA and a founder of MyFitMed. We work with patients on hormones, metabolic health, and peptide-based protocols to improve recovery, performance, and long-term health. We believe in optimal health, not just normal. What makes this peptide interesting is that it's not about pushing the body harder. It's about restoring something that naturally declines over time. Today, we are breaking down GHK-Cu, how it actually works, why it's different from most peptides, and where it fits in the real-world protocols. I'll also explain the difference between injectable and topical GHK-Cu, because that's where most people get confused. Let's start with how most people think about aging. They focus on visible or isolated problems, wrinkles, hair thinning, slower recovery, joint stiffness. But aging doesn't happen in isolated system. It happens across multiple systems at once. Collagen declines, hair follicle activity slows, inflammation becomes more persistent, tissue repair takes longer. You don't feel broken. You just feel like your body isn't responding the way it used to. Collagen is one of the first major shifts. Starting around age 30, collagen production declines roughly 1% per year. Over time, that adds up. Skin loses structure, joints feel different, connective tissue becomes less resilient. And collagen isn't just about appearance. It's found in tendons, ligaments, blood vessels, and skin. At the same time, hair follicle loses efficiency, the growth phase shortens, and stem cell activity declines. That's why hair becomes thinner and grows slower over time. Recovery also changes. Inflammation lingers longer, and the body doesn't repair tissue as efficiently after training or injury. Now here is where things get interesting. There is a peptide called GHK-Cu that naturally exists in our body. When you are younger, levels are relatively higher. As you age, those levels drop significantly, often by more than half. GHK-Cu peptide functions as a signaling molecule. It doesn't force the body to do something unnatural. It signals the body to repair, regenerate, and maintain tissue. So the real question becomes, what happens when the signal declines? And what happens if you restore it? If you have ever felt like your recovery, skin, or overall resilience declines faster than expected, comment recovery. That's usually the first place people notice changes. Now let's break down how GHK-Cu works. The first major mechanism is inflammation control. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of aging. GHK-Cu helps regulate inflammatory signaling and creates a more favorable environment for tissue repair. Not by shutting inflammation down completely, but by bringing it back into balance. The second mechanism is antioxidant support. Over time, oxidative stress accumulates and damages cells. GHK-Cu helps support your body's internal antioxidant system, things like glutathione and superoxide, which protects cell over long time. Instead of acting like an external antioxidant, it helps your body defend itself better. The third mechanism is stem cell signaling. GHK-Cu or GHK-Cu appears to influence how stem cell behaves, particularly in tissues like skin and hair follicles. This is one reason people begin to notice gradual improvement in skin quality and hair density over time. Not instantly, but progressively. The fourth mechanism is tissue repair. Your body naturally releases GHK-Cu in response to injury. It helps coordinate healing through improved blood flow, cell migration, and connective tissue repair. So when people use it intentionally, they are amplifying a signal the body already uses. Now let's talk about skin and collagen, because this is where most people first hear about GHK-Cu. It doesn't just increase its collagen production, it helps regulate the balance between collagen breakdown and collagen formation. That balance is critical. Aging isn't just about losing collagen, it's about breaking it down faster than you rebuild it. It also supports elastin, which gives skin its ability to stretch and maintain structure. Most people who notice skin improvement see subtle changes within 6 to 8 weeks, with more visible changes over 3 to 6 months. Now, let's talk about difference between topical and injectable GHK-Cu. because this is where most people get confused. Topical GHK copper is used primarily for skin. It's applied directly and works locally to support collagen, elastin, and skin rejuvenation. Many modern skincare formulation uses copper peptide because of its exact mechanism. In a practical term, well-formulated topical GHK copper approach can replace multiple layers of expensive skincare product by targeting underlying biology instead of just surface level effects. Instead of masking the problem, it supports how your skin actually repairs itself. Now, injectable GHK copper works systemically. It supports tissue repair, inflammation regulation, and recovery throughout the body. This is where people often notice improvement in joint comfort, training recovery, and overall resilience. So think of it simply: topical, skin focused, sometimes for hair too; injectable, whole body support. If you spend money on multiple skincare products and don't see long-term improvement, comment skin. I'm curious how many of you feel that. Also, let me know what particular skincare you are using and still not seeing results. Now let's talk about hair. Hair growth operates in cycles. GHK copper appears to support the growth phase, the Anagen phase, meaning hair stays in its active growth stage longer. Over time, that can lead to improved density and thickness. But this takes time. Hair cycle runs over months, not weeks. And it also works in combination. It only works well when the foundation is in place. Adequate protein, proper micronutrients, and balanced hormones. Now let's talk about recovery and body composition. GHK copper is not a muscle building peptide. It doesn't directly increase muscle mass, but it improves the recovery environment. Less inflammation, better tissue repair, more consistent training. And consistency is what drives real body composition changes. If you're constantly sore, constantly inflamed, and still trying to push harder, that's not optimization. That's accumulation of damage. There's also early research suggesting GHK copper may support brain health by reducing neuroinflammation and oxidative stress. This is still being studied, but it fits the overall pattern, supporting repair and improving the cellular environment. Now let's bring all this together. Peptide doesn't replace fundamentals, they enhance them. A strong foundation includes proper nutrient, resistant training, deep sleep, and recovery. Once that's in place, peptide like GHK copper can amplify the results. So if you're doing everything right and still feel like your recovery, skin, or hair isn't where it should be, try GHK copper. That's usually when people start exploring this level of optimization. GHK copper isn't about forcing the body to do more. It's about restoring a signal that declines with age. A signal for repair, a signal for regeneration, a signal for maintaining healthy tissue. And when that signal improves, multiple systems respond, not just one. If this has helped you understand GHK copper differently, hit subscribe. If you are using it already or considering it, drop your experience or question below. In the next video, I am breaking down the most effective peptide stack we use in a real world protocols. What works together and what doesn't, and why. You don't want to miss that one. Stay sharp.